गरीबी का सहरा हो दर पे सभी के यहाँ खुशियों का पहरा। प्यारे हो सपने होने दे सुहाने, हो सुंदर सभी के यहाँ जीवन कहानी। प्यारे हो सपने होने दे सुहाने, हो सुंदर सभी के यहाँ जीवन कहानी। हो जीवन यू सबका जो हो खुद पे नाज, हो जीवन यू सबका जो हो खुद पे नाज। है दिल की दुआ के यही अल्फाज, है दिल की दुआ के यही अल्फाज। मिले तीनों लोगों का सुख बेशुमार, हो सांसें सभी की सदा खुशबूदार। मिले तीनों लोगों का सुख बेशुमार, हो सांसें सभी की सदा खुशबूदार। मोहब्बत की सबके दिलों में चहक हो, रिश्तों में सबके यहाँ मीठी महक हो। मोहब्बत की सबके दिलों में चहक हो, रिश्तों में सबके यहाँ मीठी महक हो। बजे सबके मन में उमंगों के साथ, बजे सबके मन में उमंगों के साज। सलामत रहे सब रहे खुश मिजाज, सलामत रहे सब रहे खुश मिजाज। धन से हो सब माला माल, हो किस्मत सभी की सदा बेमिसाल। मूल्यों के धन से हो सब माला माल, हो किस्मत सभी की सदा बेमिसाल। घर घर हो मंदिर हो पावन प्रकंपन, प्रभु के गुणों से हो हर कोई संपन्न। घर घर हो मंदिर हो पावन प्रकंपन, प्रभु के गुणों से हो हर कोई संपन्न। हो आंगन में सबके सुखों की आवाज, हो आंगन में सबके सुखों की आवाज। है दिल की दुआ के यही अल्फाज, है दिल की दुआ के यही अल्फाज। सलामत रहे सब रहे खुश मिजाज, है दिल की दुआ के यही अल्फाज, है दिल की दुआ के यही अल्फाज, है दिल की दुआ के यही अल्फाज।
Om Shanti and a very warm welcome to everyone. and a very warm welcome to Prakash Bhai ji. So I take this privilege of introducing Bhai ji to the family. Ram Singhal, that is what his name is, Lokik name. He is a professional civil engineer and working as a director of engineering services with a consulting firm in the New York and is in the US since 1977. He has been practicing Raj Yoga since more than 42 years now and has that unique connection of spirituality and science. This unique connection helps dealing with situations and circumstances and relations in personal and professional life. Baiji was on the 64th floor of the World Trade Center when the planes crashed into the Twin Towers. He came out of the building 5 minutes before it collapsed. His spiritual immunity allowed him to gather himself and help many people come out of that situation. When he was helping others, he himself did not experience any fear, anger, or helplessness. Baiji today is going to share his experiences of how meditation and a positive attitude, faith in the higher being, and love for people and nature, how it can help us in time of crisis, like how it helped him in this one. He has shared this experience in many countries like the US, South America, Russia, the UK, and India. Baiji has been working closely with the youth since more than 20 years now and has conducted various workshops in schools, universities, colleges, and professional organizations. Currently, he is coordinating a global campaign called 7 Billion Acts of Goodness, which is an interfaith initiative to create a global environment, a domino effect and chain reaction of creating a world of goodness and happiness. In the last 18 months, he has extensively traveled over 17 countries, 300 cities, and given more than 700 presentations. He has spoken on various topics like turning crisis into opportunities and fear into courage, turning stress into inner strength, power of elevated actions, dealing with all of a sudden situation, learning to love ourselves, the people, and nature. And these are just to name a few. So, Bhaiji, welcome. We are now all eager to hear your experiences and to be contributed by you. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Good morning to everybody. And maybe at some places it might be good evening, good morning, wherever. So I assume that you're connecting from different parts of the world. So I was privileged to just be selected for this program. And from my experience, as Bhaiji was telling me, telling that I feel that faith and logic, they go hand in hand. Faith without logic is a blind faith. And but if I have only logic and no faith, that also doesn't work. It's very dry. And second thing I also see, faith comes when you see the achievement. And they're saying that you believe when you see it. And when you see it means you understand it and you experience in your life. So it is not that I can just shoot my faith just on the sky and then I have to come back. when something happens. But as much as I get chance to see the improvement in me, that much faith will grow in me. So I was, even in the today's Murli, Baba was talking about having faith that there will be heaven. Now, how can I have faith that there will be heaven? Then there is this thought, you are going to become a deity from a human being. How can I have faith that I am going to become a deity? When I came to Brahma Kumaris, I was 21 years old. I had just finished engineering. I'm a civil engineer by profession. And they told me that you're going to become a deity. Now, I could not believe, I was laughing internally because I had all the bad habits. You get spoiled. I was in the hostel life and in the hostel living, and there are chances that you can get spoiled, and I was. And my thought was, who cares I become deity or not? If I can improve myself a little bit, all my bad habits, if I am able to remove, I will be such a lucky person. But what happened, I started taking the course and I just put my faith in it. I'm going to try it for 6 months. Let me see what happens. And within 1 week, I was able to get rid of all my bad habits. Drinking, smoking, vegetarian food, everything I was able to do. And I was in a shock. It was like a miracle for me. I was trying for maybe a couple of years to get rid of my bad habits, and I could not do it. And here, within 1 week, I was able to get rid of. So this is where, when we talk about faith, faith is like you have a model, small model, and if that is successful, then you make a prototype. So same way, I felt if I can change this much, I can change this much too. I can change this much too. I can change my. Now that is where I extended my faith that if I make effort the same way I did now, then maybe I can become a deity. So actually, I started thinking about it again and again. So what happened is, you'll see miracle and faith. So what miracle means, it is not like magic we see outside in the world. We know all that magic which magicians show. That's fake. But still we enjoy it. And we wish maybe we could also perform that magic, even though it's fake. But when we think of God, that's where. I want to actually ask that anybody who can put on the video, that will be great. I could see your smiling faces if possible. I know the timings are different, but whoever can turn on the video, that will be great. So that at least I don't feel I am looking at the blank screen with names only. So whoever can do that. So now when we talk about, so being an engineer, we talk about, process. So when we thought God is a magician, he turns the human beings into deities and building heaven. That means I have to see it is not a chu mantra. It is not just all of a sudden something will change, but there is a process. It's a practical magic. So that means there is a process of becoming human to deity. It's a process. So actually, how my faith grew is that I took it more like an engineering point of view, that's going from A to B. This is how we do that. Being an engineer, we always thinking of like there is you create the vision of a building or something, and then you create the concept, and then if people accept it, then you go in the design, and finally when the design get approved, you do the construction. And that is how goes with everything. So imaginations, what I learned one thing was that no imaginations exist without a reality. Anytime you try to imagine anything, it has some reality and it is connected with time. When the right time is there, like the Wright brothers, they used to imagine flying like birds and they invented the planes in 1904. So that means somewhere that faith now turned into a reality. So we can call it miracle, like cell phone. Who could imagine 50 years ago that we will have cell phone, mobile phones, and we'll be taking it all around, and we'll have the whole computer in the cell phone? Who could have imagined? But it is reality today. But it's slowly developed. So that means it was a practical miracle. So that is how I see that miracles. The many times they call even world engineering miracles. Certain things you imagine, how could they do that? But they did it. So same way, I just looked at it like simplify things, and being an engineer, you simplify things. Like there are complicated drawings, complicated calculations. But when you go to the end users, the people who are going to use that facility, you take it in a simple way. This is the room. It is 15 by 20. How big this room is. So then you take them into a similar kind of room. It will be about this much size. Oh, okay. So they will answer, okay, now I see that's good enough. That's pretty good. Otherwise, even 15 by 20, they will not be able to understand. Many people, they don't understand what is 20 by 20, 15 by 20. But you simplify it. And other thing, engineering, is that you work with applications. See, when we were in our pre-engineering, we studied physics, mathematics, mechanics of material. But when we went to engineering college, they taught us applied physics, applied mathematics. That means application. Even today's Murli, I was talking about, that application is the key word. You have the electricity in the room, in the house, but only when the fan turns on, the heater turns on, then it is applied electricity, it becomes power. So there is a difference between electric energy and electric power. Power is when work get done, it is called power. So it becomes your own. That means you are able to apply the potential. You are able to apply your faith. You are able to apply your knowledge. You are able to apply the power of yoga. Now, because question was, what is power of yoga? They say we will become deities with the power of yoga. So I was just talking to myself, how could it be possible? Maybe I could just keep sitting in the room doing all kind of meditation, hours and hours and hours. And all of a sudden, somebody will come and tap my shoulder. Hey, get up. You have become deity. Let's go to heaven now. Will it happen like that? You have to see some kind of the facts or reality based. The knowledge has to be reality based, means you are becoming that. It's a process. So later on, I found out becoming a deity, make it simplify. The people who have divine qualities become deities. So many times somebody is very bad. We say, why you are like they say Rakshas, devil. And when somebody is nice to you, oh, you are like a deity. Don't we say that quite often? Aap to sirf devta ho. We say that. So that means what I learned was becoming a deity simplified. That means the person who has divine virtues become a deity. Now, we say we all have qualities. For example, truth. Now, truth is a virtue, a quality. But why we call truth as bitter? Oh, truth is bitter. Why truth is bitter? Because we hit it like a stone. We hurt with the truth. We speak out the truth at the wrong time in front of 20 people to embarrass the person. Sometimes we speak the truth with anger. Sometimes we use arrogance. Sometimes people speak the truth even to take revenge, don't we? That I am going to tell the whole world how terrible you are. We threaten with the truth. So that is how it has become impure truth. But supposing we see somebody doing something wrong, if I have a little patience, I don't speak out at the same time. At that time, person cannot even have the power to change. They may not even accept it. So I take that person in trust. I don't lose love and faith in that person. And then the person is in a right mood. And in my own little way, with the humility, with great love, I share my thoughts about what I observed. And then also give space to that person to think and decide, rather than jumping on them right away that you have to do it immediately. Like you put a seed in the ground and then you have a faith at the right time it will sprout. So here also in my small, it's not I start to give lecture. I also have faith when the right time will come, when the person will have the situation, they will remember. Do we remember certain thing my mother told us? Yeah, our mother told us and we rejected it. Rejected means we did not agree. But after 1 year, 5 years, 10 years, all of a sudden we remember what our mother told when the situation came and say, Mom, we even call Mom. Mom, you told me something 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Today I got it. I realized it today. So now if I had rejected it, how could I remember it after 5 years, 10 years? So that means I did not reject it, but at that time I did not have the experience. I was not very clear about it. And I wanted to experience on my own. So this is how you give a space to other person. Now you see how many things you added in the truth. The love, the care, the trust, the patience, right words, right attitude. And now that truth has been filled with the purity, the pure qualities, so it's become divine. So we can call it, it's a divine virtue. So now you could see, we had the truth in us, but it had become impure, and now we make it pure. Like, for example, somebody is stubborn. Now, if you see within that stubbornness, 95% is determination actually. Only 5% is that determination going too far. Or it is going a little bit tangent. In other words, it is not being used in the right direction or right proportion. Then it becomes stubbornness. And people say determination, oh, that person really did not shake. Even under difficult situation, he kept going at it, kept going at it. He had such a determination. And when somebody is stubborn, my gosh, no matter how much we will try, that person is never going to budge. Now that becomes stubborn. But it's only 5%. 95% is all determination. Same thing with love and attachment. Attachment has 95% love. Only 5%, 10%. We say when the love gets filled with worries, fear of losing, possessiveness, dependencies, and then it turns into attachment. See, attachment is also result of insecurity in many ways. Then we want to latch onto it. We want to hold on to it continuously. So this is how I see that we have to change only little bit. And when we are able to change little bit, the faith grows. Yes, I can become a deity. Becoming a deity is a possibility. And another thing I find that how I had the faith. Once I had developed this faith that I am soul, this is my body, because we used to talk about soul, but I never thought, we used to think I am a soul. No, I have a soul. But then we came to know, no, it's not that I have a soul, but I am a soul. So it was such a big difference, and this is my body. And then I said, wow, okay, we know I carry my parents' DNA in the body. And now I say I am a soul. So that means, who is the parents of the soul? Now I can say it is Supreme Soul, God. Wow. So that means if I'm child of God, that I carry God's DNA. Now that's a faith. Even though it looks like, what you're talking about? God's DNA in me is amazing. But since I started, I started to challenge myself. Either you believe that you are a soul. They say, yes. Do you believe you are a child of God? Yes, I do. Do you believe that body has the DNA of my parents? Yes. So then I say I should also have faith that I carry God's DNA. Even science talk about these days, God particle, God genes. Actually, today I was reading news somewhere. They were saying, is soul really immortal? That is the science. I say probably science will be able to prove it. Today I was just reading early in the morning. Just the news. One of the news was that one. Some scientific journal or wherever. So you could see that it is coming, we are coming closer to reality, what our faith had been. So that means even if I don't believe, then I talk to myself. We say God is ocean of love. We say. But now check within yourself. Are we not filled with so much love at the bottom of our heart, at our nucleus? Are we not so much full of love, or do we have hatred inside? Deep, deep inside, we have so much love. That is God's DNA. God wants to give happiness to everybody. Now check your own self. Honestly, don't you want to make everybody happy? Really, really, in your heart? Or do you want to hurt somebody intentionally? Yes, sometimes it happens unknowingly that we think that we hurt because there was some other, maybe not putting it right way and all that. But deep inside, at least the intention is to give happiness to everybody. That is God's DNA. So now, if we all believe that yes, I carry God's DNA, then one of God's DNA is to give, to give, to give. God doesn't take from anybody. So that means if God's DNA is to give, what is my DNA? To give or to take? Say, wow, then it become my DNA is give, and only give. No give and take. So that means I get out of this system of give and take. No calculation. Now, can I do that? Can I trust that I can only give? And if I say, then I say, so much so, you don't even take from God. Now everybody say, jump with them. What you're talking about, not taking from God. If you don't take from God, how will He give? Now that is the secret, a simple physics. It is not I take, because if I take from God, it will be against my DNA. But the real thing is, it's not that I take from God, but when I start to give, keep giving, I start to receive it. Giving and receiving. When you open the tap, the water start to flow from your tanky, they call it tanky they call it. It's connected with the pipeline. You hear the sound in the pipeline. Oh, the water is flowing now. So that means only when the water comes out of the tap, only then the supply start to be, otherwise water gets stuck. If I don't let the water come out, water in the pond gets dirty, but water in the river continue to flow. So I keep on getting the fresh supply from God when I start giving to other people. Simple thing, isn't it? So this is how now there is a faith that I am not going to God for complaints, or I'm not going to God, please do this thing for me, please do this thing for me. My child is sick, I am feeling bad. Today sometimes we even take advantage. Oh, today, I am running late today in the bus. God, please make the bus late. Now, even we have that kind of demand. So I made a mistake to get late, and then I want 50 people to become late because of me. So we can see that how we bargain with God with so many things, but it is a matter of giving, and then receiving from God. It's excellent, isn't it? Then I don't have to beg from God. So this is how even today Murli Baba brought about, isn't it? Data ke bache, you are the children of the bestower, and that is my DNA. So this is how I started working. Now, so that means giving became giving, and who we call a person. When somebody is giving, what we call that person? We call that person a deity, the one who gives. So you see, becoming a deity became simplified, but it's a process of, it's the reality based that I am giving, that's how I am deity. Now I share my experience of the World Trade Center. So of course I went to America in 1977. I was working in this kind of faith in my profession. Like one faith we got from God was that when you give, there is no way that you will be punished. People say that no good deed goes unpunished. In the world, people say that no good deed goes unpunished. But that is not what God says. I said, no giving can go unrewarded. So now I have to trust it. People say, well, you have heard this thing in the Murli, but you have to be practical. Or you have to live in the world as if God doesn't know that we are living in the world. Like, oh yes, in the world when you have to live, you have to do all kinds of things. But I said, like for example, I will give all my secrets to everybody in my workplace. People think if you give all your secret to people, then they will shunt you out. They will become smart. They will cheat on you. They will steal all your secrets, and then they will shunt you out. There is a fear. But I said, if I trust God, if I have faith in God, that I should not be afraid of giving my secret. And this is what I found when I was giving secrets to the people. I will then go in the unknown territories, find more secrets, the things I had never touched. I will pick up the projects which nobody will dare to pick. The reason is I have given all the known things to people where they are trying to grab from me. I said, take it. You want this project? Take it. So I will give all my projects to people, and then I will go in the projects nobody will touch. So that means because they are afraid that they could fail. But what I found when I pick up the projects which have chances of failure, nobody will want to touch them. Now, because nobody want to touch, nobody will be jealous of me. Then I am the king of my own territory. Nobody will bother me. And then after some time, when you start to make effort, fear and courage, they go at the same point. Same way, uncertainty and faith goes at the same point. They meet at the same point. So this is how I did even in my work. Now, in the World Trade Center, I want to share my experience because many people want to hear what happened. So that Twin Tower, they were 110 stories each, 1 acre, floor area of each floor. So they were large. And I was on 64th floor. So when the plane hit the building, the first thought was there is an earthquake. Building shook up, like went this way, that way, that way, that way. But then it came to standstill. So then the thought was maybe a pilot had the heart attack because it was very clear sky day. So there were no clouds or anything. So we started to come down. And as we are coming down, then the second plane came and hit the second building. And that is where everybody started to panic that it is a terrorist attack. It is not an accident. So people started to get up. And then after some time, the second tower, which was hit later, started to come down first. Our tower still remained standing. And as the tower was coming down, our tower was shaking so badly. And being a structural engineer, I could see that it's unstable. And I felt, oh wow, it's shaking so badly. And then because what we felt was that the floor is shaking, the plaster is falling from the ceiling, the pipelines are rattling, emergency siren is going on. You know how high-pitched a siren is? For 95 minutes, we were in the building and we were listening to that siren. And then also flickering, the emergency lighting. Means it was like a horror scene. And then we found out, because of the debris of the other tower, our stairs in our tower got blocked. So we could not use those stairs anymore. So then we had to go to the second stairs. And then there was more rush. So as we are walking down, all of a sudden we saw water coming down the stairs with such a high speed because the pipelines were broken. The standpipes for sprinkler system, they are high pressure. And also the water line. So they are broken. So water is gushing down with so much speed. If we don't hold on to the handrail, we will flush down. And some people got hurt also. So holding the handrail, we are coming down. And somebody came to us. That stairs have broken from underneath. They collapsed because the water pressure. So we had to change even those stairs. So we had to go to the third and the final stairs because there were only 3 stairs, emergency stairs, A, B, and C. So in order to go to that stair, we had to go through a long corridor with total dark. This is the first time I realized what dark is. Pitch dark. And water is falling on top of us. Water is up to our shoes were all sunk. It was shoe high, about 3 inches high or something. And once in a while, the emergency lights, when they lose the battery power and then they are dark, but once in a while they will flicker and we could see all the wires hanging on top of us. Electrical wire, communication wire, because all they install in the corridors. So because of the water, they were hanging down. Ceiling was broken. So holding the wall and ducking down, bending down, slowly we went through the whole corridor and then we came out of the stairs and we saw the chaos, fire all around. First time I saw how the fire, go like chakri. They call it tornado, small tornado. Have you ever seen the fire like that, which is running like that? Because there were many buildings, tall buildings, so the air was moving from the in space. So we used to have little bit tiny, tiny tornadoes. Mentally you also noticed. So it was like a fire like that too, with the wind blowing so strongly. So slowly saving ourselves, we came out of the building. Just after 4 or 5 minutes, we came out. We felt the kind of vibrations underneath, and we looked back. Our tower is collapsing. We were so close to the tower that if the tower had toppled in our direction, we would have been underneath it. But of course, the tower came down straight like that. And then the dust, it is traveling this way. So we are running and the dust is following us. We got even a little bit dirty, all the face and the clothes got dusty. But of course, we were out of danger. So then there were many, many people. They wanted to be with me because they had some trust. Because actually I had developed structural integrity program for the entire complex. We were 5 engineers and I was the team leader. So it took us 1 year. I even had given training to the people who should be doing the inspection of the building periodically. So I was very much connected with it. So I also knew about the building a lot. So they said, Ram, we want to be with you. So we have a meditation center near Empire State Building. And we brought those people and offered them food, and then also they did some meditation at night time when our train started to run. We came home, but next day people were calling me left and right, so that they wanted to interview me from television, from newspaper. And they were asking me many things. And one of the questions they were asking, Ram, you are 5 minutes away from the building. And 95 minutes you were inside. You were so close to the death. Share your experience that you thought you may not be able to survive. You will die. And I was looking back into those 95 minutes when I was inside. I was surprised to know I did not have any fear whatsoever for 95 minutes. Now it is looking shocking, but that's the fact. Now you could call it miracle even, that I did not have the fear. I'm not a macho kind of person, the fearless, and I don't care about anything. I'm an ordinary person. So what could be the reason? The only reason I could come up with was that perhaps because I was helping other people, my own fear did not materialize. We have seen in our life, we could be in difficult situation, but when we see somebody else in pain bigger than mine, we forget about our own pain and start to help that person. And actually then our pain also disappears. Now we have seen it many times, and that is what happened to me. But the question was, what could I help people with? Everybody is coming down, I am coming down. But the difference was, other people were coming down with force, quickly, so that they can get out as soon as possible. But I was thinking, I am doing meditation for the last 27 years. At that time, it was 27 years. I say, what is the difference between me and them? I should be helping people. I should give encouragement. and just have the faith. And those people, because they were mostly Christian people, so they have a lot thing. They say, Ram, could you please pray for us? So they believe a lot in the prayer. I say, yes, have faith, everything will be okay. And so giving that encouragement, slowly I was coming down. But when the other tower collapsed, that is where the fear started to set in. And then any little sound will come, people will tremble with fear. What's now? What's next now? And then any little sound will come. There are many ladies who are working over there. They are also coming down. They are behind me and they will scream in fear. So what I will do, I will quietly just step back and I bring them in front of me. I say, come in front. Now it is not a big deal. Just two steps front, two steps behind. But for them, it was a very big deal. Because somewhere they felt that this person who can give his own space to us, if we are in trouble, maybe this person can help us. Now you could see that there is a saying, "Doobte ko tinke ka sahara." Means when you are in trouble, even a small support becomes a big thing. So that is what they were feeling. They were loving me so much. They called me, Ram, you are our angel. So I laughed internally. I said, wow, becoming an angel has become easy. Just go two steps behind and become an angel. It's a very good deal. But then I started to think later on. I said, they called me an angel. I did not. So what they must have seen that they called me an angel. So then I started to again try to simplify things. I said, what the angels do actually. I'm a human person, but people call sometimes each other, oh, you are an angel. So what they must see, then I say, what angels do? They appear in the time of need, out of nowhere. They work selflessly. Then they don't even bring name and fame. And when they finish with the task, without anybody knowing, they fly away. They don't take anything in return. And they are light. Now, these are the characteristics of an angel. Then I say, actually, we also do it quite often. We appear at the right time when needed. They say, oh, we were thinking about you and you appeared. You are such an angel. Don't we say that to each other a lot? So, appearing in the time of need, helping selflessly, without name and fame, anonymously, and when the task is complete, before taking any credit, fly away, without taking any gift. Because, simple thing is, if the angels start to carry gifts, how could they fly? They will get burdened. So it's a simple way why they don't take anything, because they had to fly. So now, if we look within ourselves, all of a sudden I start to have the faith that I can become a human angel. And from that day on, I really started to think that way. What I have to do, appear at the time of need, working selflessly, not having any name and fame, or remain incognito. And then when the task is finished, fly away. See, then I say, now if I ask you everybody, can't you do that? Can you do that? All these things. And if you can, you are an angel from today. Now don't think of perfect angels. They are big, big angels. They have done more miracles. But I am a tiny person. I am an ordinary person. I can become a small angel, a tiny angel, a micro angel, or a particle angel. That I can do. So now you could see that what the angels do, I do that. What the deities do? Now, what is the difference between angel and deity? Angels help and the deities bestow. They give and they give. And the one who gives a deity, and where the deities live, they live in the body. I am the deity and the whole body. So this body becomes heaven because the deities live in heaven. So I am 3 square foot of heaven. I am a unit heaven, a particle heaven. In the whole celestial sphere, I am a unit, like an atom. So that's a faith, but that is doable. So deities give and the angels help. I can do both. Now it's a faith, but the faith has become reality. And now we lost 10 people in our office. And question was that why did they die? Why did I survive? What is the justification? Now I went through that survival gate, like feeling. Then only I could, talk to myself. I said, Acha, all right. Oh, really? Okay.
It's already 6:30.
Okay, no problem. So I came to know the light is going to go away at 7 o'clock, but I am still okay because I can put my, I will keep my hotspot. So hopefully we'll be okay. So, and what time is it? I am just looking at the time. Anyway, so there was this desire that I should be doing something. So many people died. If I also feel that my life is also gone. But now, because I feel that if I think the new life has been given to me, it's not my own life. And if I use this life for the world, helping other people, not for myself, then even God can justify why did I survive. So this is how I really started to work in direction. I want to do something very big. And this is how we came up with this program called 7 billion acts of goodness, because I could see that the goodness brings goodness. The goodness is the way to really change the whole world. We had a cover story in the Time magazine, happiness is contagious. That means as the flu spreads all over, now we know the COVID. So as the COVID spread, happiness is even more subtle. So it spread much faster because they had done the study for 20 years on 5,000 people. And their findings were when one person is happy, 5-7 people become happy automatically. Then 25-30 people become happy. 150 people become happy. So happiness keep on growing. So that's what the thought was. Happiness comes from doing something good. So that is where we say if the terrorist can explode a bomb and shake the whole world, why not goodness do the same thing? Why not good actions also have the explosion? So the thought was how to have explosion of goodness and happiness in the world. And that's where the thought came that the atoms, they hit each other. This is how the atom bomb work. Atoms hit each other and then they get split. Then they get connected with each other and a tiny portion of that atom becomes spare, extra, and that extra portion turns into nuclear energy. And the conversion factor is E is equal to mc square. You must have heard about it. So same way, goodness can exponentially have impact in the right time, in the trying moments. So this is how then we say, what is an act of goodness? Now, act of goodness is something I do above and beyond my duty or obligation. That means same thing, giving. How I give? If I'm making 100,000, work for 110,000. Then 10,000 becomes my giving. People do, they say, I make 100,000, but let me work for 90 and brag about 110. Don't we do that in the outside in the world? Everybody's bragging about how much work I do. But if I say, I want to give, I want to do something extra, let me work for 110,000. So 10,000 becomes extra. Now you see, if everybody start to do that, extra will keep on piling up. Extra, more extra. So there will be abundance. It's a process. When we are doing $90,000 worth work, then 10,000 is getting lost. So somewhere something is getting lost. That is how we are declining constantly. And now, because of the spiritual energy, I know when I am happy, I could sleep even for 4 hours. Still, I am full of energy. So, happiness generates energy in the body, love generates energy in the body. And that is not only faith, we have seen it in our self. So, this is how I become, even I do $110,000 work, still I don't get tired and I'm smiling. I'm doing work with joy. That we call it karma yoga. Today's Murli, karma yoga, that if you do the work without yoga, you get tired. But if you do work with the yoga, you become tireless. So all these things are very much practical aspect of our life. So this is how, when we say why 7 billion, because at that time there were 7 billion people in the world. We say in the name of every soul in the world, we perform good action. Like you could do 3 good actions per day. For 1 month, it will become 90. And the good action don't have to be only for other people. Good actions could be for your own self. You make a mistake, forgiving yourself. That is an act of goodness. Accept myself as I am is an act of goodness. Loving myself unconditionally is an act of goodness. Be kind to myself is an act of goodness, because we are very hard on ourselves. I notice people, even though we look out for love and respect, but when I check with my own self, do I have love and respect for my own self? Then I say, no, I don't. So that means to love myself is a good act towards my own self. So you can do good act towards people, towards animal, towards women, towards children, towards anything. You are not talking to somebody, you are getting upset, you are upset, go and extend your hand and just become friend. That is an act of goodness, because it needs courage. So I talk to this thing about even to the children, that, if you are not talking to each other today, just shake hands with each other, say sorry and thank you, and then become friends. So that is a possibility. So this program has gone to about, now if I can tell you, the older version was there, but now I have gone to about 700 cities in about, and I have done about 2,700 programs, big and small, and about 20 countries. And actually what had happened, just before the corona, I had planned to go to 24 more countries. Big plan I had, 15 European countries, and then Central and South America. I was starting on 14th of March 2020, and 12th, no, 13th actually, there was lockdown everywhere, and we had to cancel everything. So doing all these things at that time also, but I told people, you stay inside, because we're locked down everywhere. I will go and do the grocery. I will do and go to the bank. I will go to all kind of things. And I took it upon myself. Again, giving. And giving becomes your receiving. And that is a faith. Now, because it has happened to me again and again and again, that means that has become my conviction now. So this is how you live your life. Okay, so you wanted me to share my stories. Thank you so much. Om Shanti. And anybody has any question, supposing light goes away. So then then I will put on my hotspot so that I could still connect with you. So if you have any questions whatsoever, This is open. Actually, when I talk, usually people don't have any questions. See, questions happen only when we are dealing with the people at the surface. But if you go make your conscience that high, so then you can only look up to. You can only just think of having the courage to get into. There's nothing like a fighting with each other. How to deal with the people in the world. All the fighting and argument and problem exist when we are at the surface with everybody. Fighting happen only amongst equals, or jealousy also usually happen amongst equal or little bit up and down. But if you take yourself so high, there is no question. It's only a matter of courage. But I would like to hear some questions. Anybody?
Om Shanti, brother.
Om Shanti.
Firstly, it's a very beautiful sharing. And, I have been to that site where the Twin Towers were down. I also saw it live on television when it collapsed. So those memories are very strong. And since I come from the world of aviation, I was, of course, more involved in understanding how the pilot managed to do what he did. And I always reflected on what was in his mind when he took that aircraft into those two buildings. And of course, now it's long ago and those thoughts have no longer come. But when I look at my own faith in God, and I know there was a very big reason this must have happened, because I think it was the most dramatic and most significant event for a very long time to come.
Yes.
And keeping that in mind and seeing your courage and seeing your angelic form in the flying stage, helping the people and continuing to propagate. Firstly, a big thank you for the peaceful and the lovely energies that you have obviously shared with thousands and millions. My question to you is more in the context after having gone through such a major, episode. You have nurtured that episode as a point of, or rather a method of using that as Baba's teachings and guide to help others, right?
Yes.
So in the date, so like it has been a big catalyst for movement of change. So, and this is what I have, like, that's where I need your guidance, that this is what even I have personally experienced in the day-to-day subtle disturbances. When you use that as an experience and share, it has a different relevance. But now when we are trying to not only help ourselves and grow, but also heal and help others around us, I've seen the bigger the catastrophic kind of a situation, and you come out with an example, some people relate to that much better. So in your own experience, if we have to spread Baba's message, if we have to help others, is that the right way to do it, that we should try to actually look at our catastrophic examples and use that, or it is best to use the day-to-day? Because I've realized both have their own significance. I just wanted that knowledge from you. Om Shanti.
Yeah. See, actually, we have to take everything in small portions. See, this event is a drastic. We don't have to have that kind of difficult situations to talk about. I don't talk about it every day. Our day-to-day life is even to say hello to each other. Like somebody is just falling, let me just lift that person up. So it's a constant giving. There are so many tiny ways we can have this giving in our life, and that's the whole thing. But I find that this knowledge is day to day only. Day to day, so many small things you can do to make people happy. Giving your turn to other people. Even like you're driving, somebody is coming and they are looking, they want to make left turn if in America, but if you are right away. Now you could see the difference if you just say, no, it's my right. And then you say, I am going. You can see that person's face. He's yelling and screaming at you. But supposing you say, okay, I stop, you go, take the turn. You have seen that person, they will wave at you. They will love you so much. Maybe you made that person's day. They say, oh, I was getting late, but somebody was very kind and they gave me the right of way. Now you could see such a small thing, but that's an small act of goodness. But we can make people's life that way. But picking up someone, even though like somebody is not feeling that, oh, let me bring coffee for you. Or even to ask each other, how are you doing? Simple, small things can make such a big difference. No, that's the beauty of the acts of goodness, that they can be very small. Like children say, I ask the children that share your experience. The 5-year-old boy said, my mom gave me 2 lollipops. I gave one to my friend. I felt very happy. Now a small child can do an act of goodness. One other child said, I used to see my mother working very hard. One day I really came home and I did my homework fast. And then I started helping my mother doing the dishes. And my mother said, don't do that. I will do it. Just go and study. Just do your homework. She said, Mom, I have already done my homework. How happy the mom was. They said, now I see the cheerful face of my mind. Now, whenever I get chance, I help my mother. Now you could see even the children can do small acts of goodness throughout the day. And that is becoming a deity in small portions, the tiniest. That's what I call it, particle. I say I'm a particle heaven. This is particle heaven, mobile heaven. Wherever I am, there is happiness. Where I
Very
am,
beautifully said. Very beautifully said.
The flower spread the love and the fragrance. So this is how we say that.
Thank you so much, and very beautifully expressed. I remember, I'd just like to share, I remember when my son went to an orphanage and he was only about 8 or 9 at that point of time. And when he came back, I asked him, so what was your experience? So I thought, he'll tell me something. He says, he was young, but he still said, they had broken toys, Mom, but they were so happy. And they could be happy with just broken toys, and they were so happy. And I'll always remember that. And after that, he continued his journey to keep going to orphanages, even today. So I found that as a young child, I think that impact is there. And when you said the children, I personally feel my best teacher is the children. They'll have a fight. They'll be playing with each other. They'll have a fight. And next moment, they're all laughing.
Yes.
They're all playing again. And I feel we think we are grown up. Actually, the child is the teacher. And you have to just get back into that childhood mode. Thank you so much for sharing and bringing the reality of the children back. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. See, when I go to schools, because this is what I do. I ask the children, I say, don't be, upset supposing you made a mistake. You make up for it. I say, how? I say, supposing you have broken a glass. Now, instead of just feeling bad and sad, and you could say to your mom, I'm sorry, I broke the glass, but maybe I will buy new glass with my own money. But the students don't have the money. Then the student can say, Mom, sorry, I don't have the money, but maybe I can do 1 hour work for you, whatever you want me to do. That will compensate for my breaking the glass. How happy the mother will be.
Yeah.
So this is an act of goodness, that not to feel guilty of doing wrong, but make up for it. You have cost 10 units of, supposing you made a mistake. You caused 10 units of damage, bring that happiness for 12 units. So then 2 becomes your extra. Extra. This is the key, doing extra. And that is the key for the 7 billion acts of goodness which I am just traveling with, and then I don't get tired. 13 years ago, I started this initiative, and I'm going so many places. I have not gotten tired. People get tired after 3 months, 6 months, 1 year. Well, let's do something new. I say, I have not gone to all the places. So every time I'm sharing this story, it's new for them, old for me. So I must have shared my story for 3,000 times. Still, I don't get tired. So, but there should be some reason, because when I see the smiling faces, all my tiredness goes away. That's why I want people to turn on their TVs, their videos, so that I can see the smiles. And because the smiles when I receive, then I, bring it out more and more. So this is how the life goes, sharing, give and take. That happiness we can say that when I gave, I received. Anyway, anybody else? Thank you, Harpreet.
Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
I totally agree with this, because when I have my earplugs on, I mean the earphones, and I'm cooking and doing whatever that I need to do, I can accomplish so much more than I would be able to do otherwise. Because, and my kids say, Mom, you have these earphones on all the time. I said, but if I don't have that, then the efficiency.
Oh, we got cut off.
I think you become mute, Vibhaji.
I became mute? No, I am.
No. No, and so I tell my kids that if I take my earphones out because I'm listening to Baba, then the efficiency of my work drops, and the amount of work that I accomplish also becomes way less than what I can do otherwise.
Yeah. See, this is the, Karma Yoga. This is what I feel. When we belong to Baba, if we are not efficient, if we are not successful, nobody will trust us. Even when we talk about the trusting and believing and all that, because we are successful, then we can say Karma Yoga increases your capacity, and also it improves your mood. Mood means you remain happy. So you work extra. Many times people do extra work, but they're very grouchy, and then they even put other people down, and they don't trust other people. They don't like what other people are doing. Oh, you're too slow. So they put so many people down. But in our case, we are so happy doing things more efficiently, but with such a fun. Like, for example, I cook. I can do all kinds, like I live in Peace Village in USA. I make bread. I can cook. I can cook for 50 people in 1.5, 2 hours. And whilst I'm cooking, I can do the pots too. Now, this is also pot engineering, because I know if I am cooking in between, there is a space. Whatever pot I have used, I just put water in it and it immediately gets clean. But if I leave it alone, after half an hour, it will take more time, more soap, more energy, and even the pot will become very rough. So you could see, for anything you do with so much efficiency. So only then people will believe you. Otherwise, they won't. They say, oh, you are a nice person, very, very nice, very nice. Oh, you are like a saint. But go sit in the corner, because you are not of any use to us. No, I tell people, take me on a face value, what I accomplished. Don't think I am a spiritual person. That's why you're giving me any break or something. No, that is where we say son shows father. We are the ones reveal Baba through our efficiency and the joy and helping other people, extending our hand for friendship, and they just see deity and angel in us. It's not that, like the people, I did not say myself to be an angel, they said it. So this is how our life has to be day to day.
And if I may add, when you love what you're doing, you're truly successful.
Exactly. You don't get tired either. And you will go again and again, because the fun you were getting. See, our body never gets tired. It's the mind that gets tired first. You will see that even at the work, when you get tired, then looking at the watch, oh my God, how tired the body becomes at that time. But then you go home, you end up doing 2 hours more work and you're not tired anymore. What is the reason? At work you were tired, but then you came home, you worked another 4 hours. Now you're not tired because you're working for nothing. So if you want to be happy, work for nothing. Just give and give and give and give. You will never be tired and you will always have fun with your life. Yes, anybody else? We are almost.
Yeah, now, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, so now we have talked on a human level, Angel, how we can help each other, like how you did and you are doing it. But Brahma Baba is sitting in the subtle world as an angel. He is complete. So what's the difference between him and us? And I want to understand the difference. Like they say, you have to become karmatit. Now, how do we go through that process?
See, some or other, what I look at it when we say becoming karmati, like Brahma Baba, you could see 93 years old. And whatever he was able to come, he was a Karam yogi. And so what had happened, you could see he will do small, small things, but with joy, and he became an example. So it is just like that we take power from Shiv Baba, but we get inspired by Brahma Babas. So he became example for us. So we follow Brahma Baba, but we take power from Shiva. So when after all, the body is made of elements. So when the elements become so fragile, that means he was not able to do what he wanted, he could have done. So that is he became complete, we say. It was a matter of completion. So when he became complete, we say he became angel or deity. Actually, you know that when we die, people put us on in a picture frame on the living room and put a garland. So that means your studies are over. Your result is out. Whatever you had to become, you have become, isn't it? So Brahma Baba got that he became complete. Like, so now my point always comes is that I cannot become karmatit unless I have put all my energy, my bones into action. When I have performed all the action, I have accomplished my task, only then you will enjoy karmati stage. Many times, that's why, lots of time people say, oh, now Baba talks about lot of time, give sakash, Baba talks about, Mansa Seva and all that. So I tell people, Mansa Seva is for those who have done a lot and lot and lot. But if the new person comes and we put them into Mansa Seva, they don't even know what Mansa Seva is, what silence is. It will become like a dry silence. That is why many times when we have this silent, bhakti or retreats for the new people, I see they look so sad and depressed. Or if they're angry, they cannot say anything, but their faces are so, you could see, you are fearful from them and all that. So the karmati stage is only when, like, you enjoy sleep only after you have worked hard. If you are not worked hard, you cannot even sleep. Same way, if you come to yoga without doing anything, even yoga will not be, people say, give sakash, give sakash. And I have seen, you start to give sakash, within 5 minutes, you have gone to akash. You're sleeping, I mean, what is that? So this is where I find, I always tell, that whilst doing action, you can in yoga. Whilst talking, you can in silence. I know many times people don't want to do anything. They don't want to talk to anybody. They put a badge of silence. I know one time I did not notice and somebody had the badge. And so, I can show my, but I could not see. And when I started talking, the sister, don't you see? I am silent. She's trying to pinpoint. Look, I have a badge. I said, oh my gosh, I ran away from there. It's a very dangerous silence, So we don't want to have that kind of silence. Happy silence. Our faces should be smiling even when we are not talking. That's called deity faces. So it is only when you do more and more and more, gives your bones. So have you experienced your bones are so tired, but you are very happy? And then you say, I am happily tired. My bones are my bones are totally tired but happy. Have you seen them tired, happy bones? You have experienced in your body? Do that, only then you will expand your capacity. Because more bones you gain, the more the light will go into the bones. So it becomes like the bones of the birds, the hollow, but they are filled with light, the joy, the love. And that's how you become angels, you fly. Even though it looks like very poetic and all that, but I really feel it is very practical feeling. My bones are like birds, they are filled with joy. They are not heavy anymore. And I am flying with zeal and enthusiasm. It's a possibility. Okay. We have a couple of more minutes. If anybody else wants to share or you want to challenge me, that is okay too. Oh, yeah, we don't believe you are talking very much somewhere on the top of our head. So anybody wants to ask anything or challenge or whatever.
So you are actually saying, they say we have 4 subjects. One is knowledge first. And then, and then meditation, then, implementation, and then comes service. But I think you are telling like service is better first.
What I say, no, what I say, simultaneous. Everything has to be simultaneous. There is nothing like first this, then this, because otherwise we will get stuck in the first phase only.
Yeah, because I've heard many times, like first you have these 3 things and then the service God makes you do himself.
See, what Baba said today, you already come so late. If we start to do the same thing slowly, what will happen to us? We have come late. So that means we have to do like in other words, you see, I look at it, I know with myself, I never studied during the whole year, very little. But in the last 15 days, I forget about sleep, I forget about food, and I work, So I apply the same thing. I have come late. So I cannot go into the theories, a lot. Become practical right away. Actually, that I have seen even in my profession. Many times people say plan properly, design properly, think a lot, then it will be successful. I find planning phase is the phase of fear. What can go wrong? Actually, Baba also told us so many things. If you don't work hard, then you will be punished. Dharamraj will hit you. He doesn't say that he will throw you into the oil, boiling oil, but that is, man, there is nothing like that. Why Baba will throw us into the oil? Why Baba will punish? He's our father. Father will give us joy only. It's our karma. So that means like Baba will always give us joy. So my Dharamraj is that Baba will bring justice to me no matter what. That's Dharamraj. I don't think of punishment at all from Baba. So our way of thinking, way of doing things have to be. One time somebody asked me, actually, Ram, I don't see you sitting in meditation a lot. I don't see you that you go too much into the silent retreat. But I saw you always smiling, you always coming up new idea. Then I all of a sudden realized You say, you are speaking so nicely. All of a sudden I realized you can be silent while speaking. Because silence brings joy, silence brings solution. And if you're providing solution, that is your practical silence. That is, I call it applied the power of silence, applied the power of happiness. When I'm doing, see, for me, like happiness, like same way we have blood, you put a needle and the blood comes out. So that means blood is throughout our body. Can I feel that love and the tip of my finger and I touch anything with that love? Touch the soil, touch the dust and feel it. Because that's what my experience was. That the dust is feeling so happy that I touch the soul. So that means the soul through the body is making the entire universe pure through the actions. Without actions, vibration will. So that means I do yoga, the power of yoga goes into the soul, enthusiasm, love, happiness, that generates energy in the body. And when we have the strength, then we do more action, but with joy. Even every tip, anything I touch, you are touching with love, sharing happiness, and that goes into elements, because 5 elements in the body represent the whole universe. So think of the bigger picture. It's only through action. You don't become pure with the yoga. Yoga is the mean. Power of yoga brings joy, happiness, love, and that love works for doing good action and good sanskara. That is how you become deity. One time Dadi Janki said, with this body we did wrong action, we became impure. With this broken body, we will do good action, pure action, the soul will become pure. Action is the bottom line. That is the final thing. Karma yoga. Yoga will not do anything on its own. And karma, of course, without yoga will not bring success. It's a combination. So don't, everything simultaneous.
Thank you.
Okay. So we have 1 minute, 2 minutes. Maybe, yeah, we can just close in silence. How that works, I don't know. Whatever you will tell me, I will do.
Yeah, we can have meditative music and can be in silence and remember Baba.
Okay.
Yeah. Amiben, can you put some
Yeah.
music, please?
That today you should bring up this thing in myself, that I am a human deity. I am conscious aged divinity, human angel. Simplify Baba's knowledge. Make it practical. Apply it to day-to-day life. I, the soul, am peaceful. Peace is my power. I receive love from God, and love becomes my strength.
Thank you, Bhaiji. It was a wonderful session listening to your experiences. And I'm sure everyone, including myself, have got a lot of value. We shall look forward to have more sessions with you, Bhaiji.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. And I also look forward to have you more often.
Thanks to Baba. All
Oh,
right. Okay. Om
okay.
Shanti.
Om